Have you ever sat on the crinkly paper of an exam table, trying to explain an ache or a pain to your doctor, while they spend the entire visit staring at a glowing monitor? You are looking for a connection, but they are focused on furious typing. They aren't ignoring you on purpose. Your doctor is trapped doing meticulous data entry. Every single symptom, checkup, and prescription has to be logged perfectly, otherwise the hospital won't get paid for your visit. This shows how traditional medical billing works, known as the fee-for-service model. Every pill, blood test, and scan adds up to a specific dollar amount. The financial incentive is strictly tied to volume. The more actions performed, the more the hospital earns. The system does not ask whether that extra test made you feel better. It only rewards the quantity of actions taken. When a hospital's income relies entirely on the sheer volume of procedures, an incredibly personal moment turns into a rapid-fire checklist. The pressure to process more visits creates the hurried, distracted exams we all recognize. This contrasting model shows an alternative approach called value-based care. Instead of paying for a pile of procedures, the financial reward is tied directly to a health and wellness meter. The goal is simple. Hospitals earn money by keeping patients genuinely healthy over the long term. If a doctor manages your chronic illness well enough that you need fewer tests and hospital stays, the hospital still thrives financially. It sounds like a perfect solution. Yet, walk into a clinic today and you are likely still talking to the back of a computer monitor. If the industry is moving toward this healthier model, why does the experience feel so rigid? The roadblock is measurement. A hospital might desperately want to be paid for your long-term wellness, but the digital tools they use every day are completely inadequate for tracking how healthy you actually are. Right now, care is tracked using electronic health records, or EHRs. Think of these like massive digital filing cabinets that store your medical history. These systems were built years ago to capture billing data, which means they are entirely structured around simple checkboxes. They work perfectly when a doctor needs to record an isolated transaction, like prescribing an asthma inhaler. But health is complex. It involves where you live, what you eat, and what you can afford. Doctors call these factors the social determinants of health. Those rigid checkboxes have no space for these real-world details. Consider a patient who keeps returning to the ER for asthma attacks. Their apartment sits next to a highway covered in heavy smog. Or perhaps they simply cannot afford to refill their medication every month. If the medical record only has a checkbox that says inhaler prescribed, that vital context vanishes. The software erases the environmental and financial hurdles actually causing the illness. You cannot pay a hospital to improve a patient's overall well-being if the software strips away the human story of their life. Without that holistic picture, true health cannot be measured or rewarded. To fix this, hospitals have to collaborate with technology companies to rethink how patient data is collected from the ground up. This technical hurdle is called interoperability. Different medical software applications act as walled gardens, unable to communicate. Because information is trapped in separate silos, it's impossible to follow a patient's health journey across clinics and years. The overall picture is completely fractured. Artificial intelligence offers a practical bridge. Rather than forcing a doctor to hunt through dozens of disconnected files, AI tools can analyze that scattered medical history and synthesize it into one clear, cohesive narrative for each patient. For the patient sitting in the exam room, this background tech upgrade makes a massive difference. When smart software handles the complicated data entry, the doctor is finally free to turn away from the keyboard and listen to you. Better software is only part of the solution. Those tools will sit unused if the management culture within the hospital does not evolve right alongside them. Historically, hospital leadership measured success by keeping beds full and maintaining high patient volumes. To make this new system work, leaders have to shift their focus entirely to prioritizing actual value. From the patient's perspective, true value means receiving equitable care. It means the medical system actually accommodates your unique individual circumstances and background, rather than pushing you through a generic assembly line. Hospital leaders must stop treating this transition as a clever new billing strategy. It has to become a cultural mandate to eliminate unnecessary, ineffective medical interventions and focus strictly on what makes people well. Eliminating those unnecessary treatments leads directly to the financial endgame of this model, a massive, system-wide reduction in overall healthcare costs. This image illustrates where those savings have to go. Health systems must ensure the money saved from reducing unnecessary care is passed directly back to the patients in the form of lower medical bills. Making this happen is difficult. It requires lawmakers, insurance companies, and hospital networks to sit down and completely align their competing financial interests. But it is worth the effort, because it brings us back to that paper exam table. When the system is aligned correctly, you are no longer competing with a computer screen for attention. When the right technology supports a culture focused on long-term wellness, the medical experience stops being a transactional data entry chore. It returns to what it was always meant to be, a truly human-centered mission to keep you healthy.